Okay. So hi guys. Sorry about everything. We tried our level best, but we're going to make it work. This is Aditi with me. She's an ICF certified self-love coach, and I am Hemali, and I am an ICF certified relationship coach. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you Aditi for doing this live with me.
Thank you, Hemali, for agreeing to do this collab. Really happy to be with everyone. Hi, everyone.
Me too, me too. Really glad that we are getting to do this. So let's reveal to everybody that one question that everybody has been waiting to listen. Do you have a relationship with Dash? So before, a lot of people put their answers in the comments and a lot of people said myself, yourself. Tell us, is this the right answer?
Yes. So the most important relationship that we need to build is with ourselves. And that's what this live is all about. This live is all about creating an awareness that the most important relationship that we need to build is with ourselves. The most important relationship is ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the most important relationship that we can build with ourselves. Right. So today we are going to talk about this. We're going to talk about building a relationship with yourself, which is the most important relationship we can have.
So Himali, I wanted to ask you, because you are a relationship expert, why do you think that it's, the question itself, like what are your viewpoints? Why is it important that we need to have a relationship with our own self?
Like I just said, I feel like the most important relationship we can have with anybody is with ourselves on this planet. And this kind of energy that we have when we meet someone or even with a friend, we invest so much energy into making that relationship work. Now imagine if we invest that same amount of energy into loving ourselves. It just, it creates this very nice bubble and positivity around us that attracts people towards us. And that attention that we have to beg for, we don't have to beg for it anymore. We, have this very nice respect, very nice perspective about ourselves. And when that part is sorted, when we are contented with ourselves, every other relationship we will have will be very satisfying. We will not have to keep asking people to love us. People will love us because we love ourselves. Our primary need as human beings is being loved. When that need is met, we will stop begging for that kind of attention from others. So that's how I see it. And you, yes, I agree, Mr. Kingfisher. I'm sorry if I keep calling you that, but that's your ID. If you want to share your name, that would be cool. Self-love is better than loving others. That's totally agreeable. And we have with us Aditi, who is a self-love coach. So I want to ask you, what does self-love mean?
So self-love means to embrace ourselves just the way we are, and how it's like how we love our loved ones, our most important near and dear ones. We tend to overlook even the things that we don't like, their flaws, right? And we embrace each part of their life, of their personality. The same way, that same love we need to direct to ourselves. So that means when we have that enough love for our own self, then we don't, again, as you said, we don't, reach out to somebody else to have our needs met, right? We are able to do that ourselves. So that's the reason self-love is an expression, and it's how we would practice building a relationship with ourselves. So that's
right.
How. And
right.
being just by your side through thick and thin, no matter what. So that's what self-love is for me.
Totally. I feel like, when we meet somebody again, we have this expectation that they accept us for who we are. But self-love basically is accepting yourself first, who you are. When you do that, it will be less difficult for people to accept you because you feel so confident in yourself that you won't have this kind of, back and back again and again with your partner or with your friends that, accept me for who I am. As long as you do it, people will find it much easier to
Right.
accept you. So we've been like, we're going on about self-love, self-love.
Mm.
Uh, I'd like to, ask you this question again. How can one practice self-love? What should they do?
So first thing is self-love is to the first point is to accept ourselves just as we are at this moment without having to feel the need to change anything about ourselves. Because only when we accept that who we are, we recognize and we acknowledge the way we are as of right now, can be the starting point for any change or transformation for the rest of our life. Okay. So we know that this is the starting point, and from this point onwards, I want to go ahead to heal those parts which are not healed, which I've constantly to cover up those parts where I don't love myself. I cover up and do something else which may be harmful for myself. But when we do that, when I recognize that there is a flaw and there needs to be a healing done, that's the first point of self-love. And then from then on, with that knowledge, we are at peace with ourselves. So we don't conflict with our internal reference point, right? So we are at peace. Peace is our internal reference point. So all our decisions from there on will be based out of confidence and love and not fear, which is a big change, in our the way we look at life. Our perspective will change. Our perspective towards towards how we look at ourselves will also change gradually. So acceptance will be the first point, and then from there on, everything revolves around change. How we rise up to meet life's challenges. So we are able to become more resilient in the future. We don't seek validation from others. Very important, right? Like how you said that I don't have to seek somebody else's approval for what I do or who I am, because I know what I am is enough for me. So that's what.
Right. That's absolutely true. I totally agree with you. And when I say self-love, or when I say think about having a relationship with ourselves, I feel like you should just put yourself in that position that if you're with your partner or if you're with somebody you love, what are the things you expect from them? And then start expecting the same things from you. Like, for example, one of the best things that we want from people is quality time, right? When we
Mm.
love someone, we want them to spend quality time with us. I feel like uh, if we start spending quality time with ourselves, taking that, space off and just being with ourselves, uh, I think that's the first step to start practicing self-love, because when you say that entire cycle begins of doing everything you can. So
Sure.
can you help people with, what we can do to love ourselves better? And before you answer, I'm just going to respond to this. Pawan, thank you for your question. You are asking us how can we build a better and standard and strong relationship? Do you mean with yourself? Are you talking about self-love? If that's your question, then she's just about to answer it right now.
Okay, so your question is what can we do to love ourselves better? Is that the question?
Yes. What can we do to love ourselves better?
Okay. So I have a few exercises that I've done on myself and I've seen the results, and I would like to put them across on this platform today, which all the viewers can probably make like a target, a goal of say doing these exercises for at least 1 month. That's the minimum. So the first thing is practice being in the present moment. Okay, and that will begin with sitting in silence, sitting in stillness, without having to engage with anything, not your mobile, not your no electronics, not even your book, because when you're engaging with the book, you're engaging with the author. So it's important to just be still, to sit quietly and start with 2 minutes. And it's 2 minutes is nothing, but when you have to sit with nothing for 2 minutes, it's very difficult, trust me. But to start with, at least start with sitting still every day. In silence, there are so many answers, you know. When we do, when we practice this and when we focus on our breath work, we become more centered. So practice meditation. So this is one kind of meditation. There are other kinds of meditation that one could do. For example, sound meditation. You know, people like to chant, or people like to just hear something because they like chants. So whatever suits you, you'll have to explore what works for you, and
Right.
that's the journey itself of exploring what works is brilliant, because you explore and you uncover so many answers, and uh,
Absolutely.
you kind of discover so many things about your different aspects of your personality. Like a new personality can be born if you just practice being in the present moment. So not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past. And how to do it is to start by sitting still for at least 2 minutes and then meditating, doing breath
Right.
work. Then the second thing is practice being grateful every day. Like create a journal. Write 5 things or 10 things that you're grateful for. If not in the early morning, maybe towards the end of the day. Because when you've gone across one whole day, a full 24 hours, and then you can reflect back on this day and write down what were you so grateful about. Yeah, so that. And then you have to just do a little bit of analysis that in your life, how many people are those who support you or talk back to you, talk down to you rather, and make fun of your decisions, make fun of who you are, you know. So analyze those people. Are there toxic people in your environment? And if there are, then do you want to go ahead and to cut them off? And if you can't cut them off, decide what kind of boundaries that you can create to protect your energy from getting depleted from in their presence. Okay. Uh, One very important exercise is understand what is your life purpose, and are you aligned with it? Okay, it's a very important question. What is my life purpose? You'll have to ask yourself. Uh, Something that you can do is ask yourself, what are the 3 non-monetary things that make you happy? It's a profound question, and the answers will. If you don't have an answer, or if you have unsatisfactory answers, it should shake you up. Okay, it is a good reality check to have an answer for that question. What are the 3 non-monetary things that you are most happy about, that they
Right.
are there in your life? Okay, then work on your financial goals. Set targets to achieve. Right? If you really have a financial goal, then you'll work towards it. There will be a goal and you can work back towards it, right? So that means investing, for example, if you want to invest uh, for a long-term goal, like you want to go on an international vacation. So I want to start investing right away. Then where do I want to go? How much do I need to invest? So in that exercise, you'll be able to, that process, you'll be able to save money for yourself. That's financial self-care. Yeah. Then looking after your body, like do a check on your body. What is it that out of your body that needs attention? Do I need to go and see a doctor? Is there a pain that I'm constantly kind of ignoring? Okay. And do regular checkups? Do I do full body regular checkups? That's taking care of your health. So that's health care, right? So
Right.
that is one. So all your aspects of your life, that is financial, health, and relationships, these are the main, and of course spiritual. So these are the 4 aspects of your life in which you can express yourself and practice self-care. So self-care is not something like an abstract that today I'm going to be the epitome of self-care. But that's not how it works. It is something that is has to be done on a daily basis. It's as simple
Right.
as brushing your teeth because you want to at the start of the day that you want to have clean teeth, and you start afresh with the day. Having a bath is basic self-care. That's self-care, but it's also an expression of self-love,
Absolutely.
right? So that's how we can practice self-love every day. What are your what do you think can be the ways that you can practice self-care, Himali?
So, firstly, those are some amazing ideas on loving yourself. Some of these exercises I think will work wonderfully if people, try it. And I
Right.
also have a few exercises that you people who are listening can try. And once you set a pattern of trying this, feel free to DM either of us or both of us and tell us how it's working on you. We'd
Right.
love to hear your feedback on how these exercises are working. Before I get to it, everybody who's asked questions in between, we'll come to all your questions at the end, so you can stay with us. This is just so we don't lose the flow of our talk, and then we'll come back to all of your questions. Okay, so one exercise that I have is every once in a while, and I would suggest you do this at least every day. Spend 10 minutes, close your eyes, and go to your happy space. Which is your happy place? Is it the beach? Is it the mountains? Is it your childhood home? Is it a
Mhm.
garden? Is it in
Right.
the clouds? Who cares? Go to your happy space and talk all nice things to yourself. Like if I were in my happy space, I would say all the things that I want to hear. That Himali, you're doing so amazing in life. Himali, this is something that you've done so well. So this
Right.
need that we constantly need validation from people. We can get validation from ourselves. And you
Mm.
don't know how much positivity that will fill you with. It will fill you with feeling so positive that even if people don't bother enough to, say these nice words of affirmations or appreciation for you, that need is already met.
Mhm.
Another activity that I have for you, another exercise is every once in 3 months, take yourself out on a date. You're always going on a date with your partner. You're always going out with your friends. Uh, and you're so busy in work that you don't have space for yourself. Now, this date doesn't even need to be lavish. You don't need to get dressed up. You don't need to, plan a dinner. For all you care, set up some space in your balcony, pick a cup of chai or coffee, and sit and spend time with yourself with a good book, or go for a long drive. Listen to the music like you like enjoying. Go to a coffee shop and spend those hour or two, a couple of hours with just yourself, and fall in love with your own company. So somewhere or the other, Pavan, this also answers the question that you asked us: what do you do when you feel bored alone? Fall in love with your own company. Why do you
Mhm.
always need people to make you feel happy? You need people in life. So once again, I'm answering one more comment over here who said loneliness is addictive. And that's a bad thing. Addiction of any kind is not good. As long as you are okay with being alone, you're not anxious to be alone. Getting addicted to loneliness means you'll never be able to survive in happiness with somebody else. So you need to strike a balance in both. And my next exercise for you to do is every time you meet a milestone, okay, every time you do something good, every time you feel happy about something, buy yourself something that you wanted for a long time. Give yourself gifts. Don't wait for people to give it for you because sometimes people might just not get what you need. But you know what you need, right? So meet your own needs. And it could be like, say, supposing you're coming home from work and you've done a very good job. Buy yourself a chocolate. Get yourself a flower. It could be
Mhm.
something as small as this, but you
Right.
do it for yourself, you know.
Sure.
When you start doing things for yourself, the person who you are in love with or you're in a relationship with, will see that this person is so self-contented, even they will feel like doing things for you. See, even I want to be a part of this happiness that this person
Mhm.
has. And my last exercise for you is, like you talked about health. Health is the most important. Physical health, mental health, both.
Mhm.
Promise yourself or promise us that once at least 4 days in a week, you will invest time on your health. You could do yoga, you could work out, go for a run, do aerobics at home, find a workout partner, whatever that makes you happy. But work out and invest on your health at least 4 days in a week. I'm not even putting that pressure of 7 days in a week. 4 days. 4 दिन कर लो बहुत है. So these are some exercises that I feel like even I have tried. And, there will be times in your life when you feel so disappointed. You might be disappointed with life. You might be disappointed with something at work. You might be angry at your partner. But people who are so much in love with themselves will somehow find themselves back up. They'll grasp that and they'll be like, okay, I'm disappointed about this, but I love myself so much that I'm going to stand up for myself. So this is the kind of, self-love that you can, some exercises that you can do for self-love.
Great. Those are really great points, Hemali. But what happens when you don't love yourself?
A lot happens. In the bigger picture, you could lose yourself completely. You start becoming an insecure person. You start losing confidence in yourself. So what happens is when you don't love yourself, if somebody will say something as small as, oh, you're not good at this, that will keep going on in your head. Slowly, slowly, you will stop trying to become good at it, and very soon you will actually not be good at it. Or, somebody will say something about how you look.
Right.
You will start thinking about it. But if you're so confident of yourself about how you look and keep telling yourself, you know what, I look amazing and I really don't care. In my eyes, I look amazing. So when we stop letting people say all this to us and when we love ourselves, that we will not reach that point of insecurity or lack of confidence. But when we don't, all of these things happen. We start losing confidence. We start feeling shy to meet people. Also, we think so less of ourselves then that I don't deserve anything nice. We start investing our time into toxic people and toxic relationships. I deserve this. I'm not a good person. Why are you not a good person? That's something that you've told yourself. You are a wonderful person and people just don't get it. And they won't get it until you get it. So
Right.
you get it. You fall in love with yourself. You'll also, start feeling void in your life. There's no happiness. You start feeling empty inside. कि कुछ बचा ही नहीं है. There's nothing left to feel happy about. I think these are some of the most detrimental things. Slowly it starts
Sure.
affecting your mental health. When it starts
Right.
affecting your mental health, it will start affecting your physical health. And then sometimes it reaches a very bad stage. So that is why we're going on establishing today that having the best relationship on this planet is the one that you have with yourself. And that in no means that you become, a narcissist and think, okay, मेरे और कोई चाहिए नहीं. But this is your building block to have relationship with others. If you don't know yourself, how will people know you? It's as simple as that. So these are my thoughts on this. And I'd love to ask you, what do you think is the effect of self-love on other relationships?
So one is able to bring their higher version of themselves in the relationship because we have, when we constantly work on ourselves, when we know that there are some challenges, these are my weak points, and your awareness will help you in addressing those issues quickly as soon as they get uncovered in the relationship. Because so then what happens is when you're aware that okay, this is a trigger of me getting upset, so I'm aware, and that will stop me from going haywire. That will stop me from saying something untoward, which will start off a fight, start off an argument, and it will avoid all the blaming and the negativity in the relationship. So when we practice self-love on a regular basis, we are able to bring a higher version of ourselves in the relationship. So it's like this question that we are asked in the interview: what do you bring to the table? So the answer is, in a relationship, in the context of a relationship, my best self is something that I bring to the table in my relationship. So and then because I will have a keen sense of myself when I practice self-love, I'm able to respect the other person as they are. Because when I'm aware of the flaws that I have, then I know that the other person also is equally flawed and equally human. and so we give them enough grace. So forgiveness becomes easier. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing to happen, because when we don't give grace, when we don't give space for the other person to be human, to commit errors, to not behave as per our understanding or as how we want them to, then it is a controlling relationship. You tend to be the controller of the relationship, and that's not a very good thing. Yeah. So and so when we are aware that we are aware of our own flaws, then it's easier to accept the other person as well, and then life becomes easy. So that's one, and then we are able to have the awareness how we project our thoughts to each other, in the tone and the way we use the words, the quality of our words, is how we express ourselves. So that's very important, because when we have that awareness, that okay, if I'm about to say something and I'm about to have a uncomfortable conversation with my partner, I know what words to choose so that I am able to express myself without hurting the other person.
True. That's true. We
Uh,
also have.
yeah, sorry, I
Have
think
I lost you, or is your
no,
did I lose your connection?
yeah, I think there's some problem. That's the Instagram reminder to take a break. I don't know why, and I'm not taking a. I don't know. 1 second.
Actually, your video has frozen for me.
Okay.
Now
Sorry.
now.
So there is an Instagram reminder that comes on the phone to take a break, and that's the reason, the screen just went blank, but I can't hear you, can't see you now. I can hear you.
You can't? Oh, so we have a nice comment from Adhiya that says, good point. My research has recently proved that having a meaning in life does influence why our forgiveness and gratitude and resilience levels, irrespective of gender. Wonderful. My boundary ends when your boundary starts. That's actually
Brilliant.
beautiful. That's actually powerful. We do have a couple of questions coming in, but we'll take them in the end.
Sure. There is one point I wanted to just add to this question.
Sure.
So when there is authenticity in how we express ourselves to a partner, we make a safe space for each other to unfold and to unpack our feelings towards each other. So that's a brilliant thing to have, and we both the partner and I can thrive in a healthy relationship, and that's what we require. We need to have a safe space for each other so that we can have those uncomfortable conversations comfortably. We can agree to disagree with each other. That will be the beauty of our relationship. So that's why self love is going to help us, put ourselves
Yes.
of ourselves.
Highest version of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in love with what you just said. That's so true, and I think we can all agree, everybody who's listening, me and everybody else who's listening later in the recordings. Self-love is all about having the highest relationship with ourselves. I think we need to stick to this point, and this line is definitely going to stick with me. If you have a whiteboard, if you have a phone, I'm sure you have a phone. If you have some space, to print this out and paste it and remind yourself of it every day.
Hemali,
That's
I have a
absolutely.
question for you.
Yeah.
So how do you think can coaching help us in building a relationship with ourselves?
Uh, oh my God, coaching is, I think, I'm in love with what coaching really is. And life's every aspect, I don't think there's any aspect that coaching can't cover. But in case of self-love, first of all of these perspectives that somebody who doesn't love themselves, that whatever they have about themselves, like I'm not good enough, I don't look good enough, I'm not good for this person.
Right.
A coach can help you overcome all of these things. uh, they will help you overcome all the problems that you have with yourself, whatever you find is your weaknesses, and how there will be several exercises that a coach will do with you to help you find your strengths and to actually bank on your strengths in life. So much so that you will reach that level that when people try to belittle you or put you down, you laugh at them, saying that, listen, I know myself, I know my level. And this is not about boasting. This is about being confident in yourself that no matter what people say to me, I am going to be who I am or who I'm meant to be. And a coach can help you be in that awareness at all times. A coach really empowers, one to be their true self and, in your own words, uh, achieve their higher self, of being happy with themselves. And of course, the coach will help you set goals and break down those goals and achieve the best of those goals. So I think a coach can do amazing for you. And if you are at the brink of losing yourself, if you are at the highest of your insecurity, if you are at the lowest of your confidence levels, I think you need a coach to help you fall in love with yourself, and then you'll fall in love with everything in this world. You'll fall in love with the concept of life in itself. So I think a coach can do wonders for you if you are at that stage.
Awesome. Thank you so
This
much.
is comment again. Self-love can also look like admitting that I have needs too and they are worthy to be fulfilled. I have feelings that matter as such as the others have flaws and deserve permission to forgiveness. Totally. And Abhishek says, even the best of the best need coaches. True that. We all do need coaches.
Have we
Um,
addressed this question of Priyanka? How can I help myself to fall in a routine of self-love? Sometimes after following for a few days, the rhythm just breaks. Please help in this. Okay. Hemali, do you want to go ahead and answer that? Or do you want me to answer
uh,
it?
I can't hear you. Are you asking me if I want to take this question or are
Yeah.
you answering?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do
Okay.
that?
So, Priyanka, this is a very interesting question, and most of us struggle with consistency. But I truly believe that when you give a commitment to yourself and when you affirm to yourself that I am going to try to fall in love with myself every single day of my life, and if you put yourself before everything else, and by everything else, I mean before your house, before your responsibilities, before your career, because if you are there, then everything else is there. I also believe that initially you might have to push yourself. You might feel frustrated with pushing yourself, but there's also this concept that researchers found that if you can stick to a routine for a maximum of 21 days, at least 21 days, it will automatically become a part of your routine. So I think reaffirming to yourself every day, sleeping with the thoughts that I love myself will help you wake up with the thought that I love myself, and automatically it will start falling in. You will start following into this routine. But at the end of the day, since we are talking about self-love, you will need to self put the efforts into being in this routine, because nobody can force you to love yourself. So if you want to achieve that level of highness, you will have to push yourself every day to be in that rhythm and not break it. But I would say that, after, like I said, 21 days, automatically you will fall into this routine.
Yeah. And also, I think that self-love, so where I have to engage in an act of self-love to just be consistent, it also means to self-regulate. And even when I fail to not do it consistently, I think it is also to give ourselves a lot of grace, a lot of forgiveness, not be harsh on ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are human. So there could be times that we are not able to complete a routine on a regular basis, but then we know where to go back and we can start again. So that is also one aspect of how we can, help ourselves to maintain a routine. And also then we will remember what are the benefits we get out of that, of following that routine. And when we feel happy, we feel joyful. I think even if we miss sometimes not doing those routines of self-love, then we know we're missing out on something, and that something is really, really important in our life. So we happily go back to that. So that's how we can fall back into that consistency of practicing self-love.
Absolutely. I think we missed one more question in between from a profile that was Moonlight, who asked that how can self-love help build a romantic relationship?
Okay.
I mean, imagine having the best relationship with yourself. Imagine being so in love with yourself and meeting your own primary needs. And then imagine being in that phase where nobody can put you down, when you're not wrong. Now, when you are in your best and confident self, when you walk into a room like you own it, uh, that person, that romantic partner of yours is bound to feel attracted to you. The moment you start giving in, the moment you start letting, all of these negative fights or arguments or the things that are said in arguments, which usually you don't mean, they're just said in anger.
Right.
The moment you start letting go of those little things and don't let it affect your sense of confidence in yourself and not let it get to your head, I think your romantic partner is bound to fall and stay in love with you. The moment you start letting those things get to you, affect you, make you feel small,
Right.
you will start coming across as needy, insecure, and then they will stop loving you because that powerful person that you were, they start missing that person. The moment you start become that person who's just asking and begging, but when you are in your best self, I think that person will feel so attracted to you because you love yourself so much. They will also want to love you. It all, it's like charity begins at home. So if you want your romantic partner to continuously stay in love with you, stay in love with yourself. And when you do that, there's this aura around you that will attract them to you. So that's what I think. You're most welcome. Would you like to add anything?
So Himali, to this point, I also thought of something like when we practice self-love, when we are kind to ourselves, then also we are able to be kind to our partner as well. While they work on their insecurities, while they work on their own internal triggers, and that's very important because if we expect a kind of treatment from our partners where we need their support, then it's also that we should extend the same support to our partners likewise. So that we can only do when we are aware, when we are already also working on ourselves, so we know how important it is to keep working on ourselves, keep reinventing ourselves, and that will keep the newness in our relationship alive, and we will not end up being bored with each other.
Totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think we've covered a lot. We've spoken all about self-love. We've spoken about having the best relationship with ourselves, how we can do it, what we can practice. We're also leaving you with some exercises. So please do follow it. If you have missed any of those, if you joined in late, go back to the recording and watch it. So that don't miss out on this session.
Yeah, there is one question we've sort of missed. And the question is, how can one find their purpose based on self-love? I'll answer that question. So when we work on ourselves as an expression of self-love, we can do this conversation with us, with our own self, as to where does my heart lie? Okay, and then what areas of life interest me, or what am I willing to do to contribute positively to the society? These are the few questions that you can ask when you're on the path to discover your life purpose. Your life purpose may not mean that you change your occupation and you have to monetize your life purpose. Your life purpose could just also just mean something that you do something out of pure love without really monetizing or it could just be charity for that matter alongside your main occupation. It's perfectly fine if you do that. And it's also fine if you completely change your occupation and you are completely committed to follow your life purpose, which will also sustain you financially and also, create a contribution to the society. And it will also fulfill you and make you joyful from the center of your heart. So there will be a little bit of questions that you need to answer for yourself as to what can I do to make this world a better place? What can I do in my own capacity to, and that can start with the communities that we live in. And then we can spread out to the world gradually. So that is how I think we can find our purpose through with self-love as our basis. Because again, everything that we do for ourselves is an act of self-love at the end of the day.
Right, right. I totally agree with you. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, Abhishek. It was absolutely our pleasure. Thank you, Aditi, for joining me. If you are looking for a self-love coach, please reach out to her. She's amazing. You'll have the most warm-hearted conversation. Um, Thank you, Moonlight Diaries. If you're looking for a relationship coach, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you with whatever issue you are going through. And it was a lovely session.
Yeah, we did it despite all the audio and video problems. So sorry for the long delay.
That's okay. I think it's become a part of our life now, the glitches. I wish we had an Instagram coach,
Yes.
much like for the glitches in our life.
Right. Right.
All right, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Anya.
joining
Thank
in
you.
tonight. Thank you. Have a great day. Good night.
All right. Bye. Take
All
care,
right.
everybody.
Bye.